Alrighty, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the Town of Star Valley Ranch Planning Commission. It is Wednesday, October the 8th at 5:31 p.m. We do have all commissioners in attendance. Let the record also show that we have Town Clerk Hurd in attendance as well. So could I get, we have the agenda in front of us, and if I could get a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Sommerfeld. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by, Kathy got that one, I think. So Commissioner Dalton. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from September 23rd, 2025. Everyone should have received those. Any comments or questions, edits? Okay, could I get a motion to approve the minutes from September 23rd?
So moved.
In a second.
Jenny got that one. Okay, Commissioner Stewart has made a motion to approve the minutes. Can I get a second? Seconded by Commissioner Albers. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You guys are on it tonight, let me tell you. Okay, moving on, agenda items. So we don't have any formal agenda items this evening, like, you know, plat amendments or rezoning or anything like that. I will just briefly, I'm gonna pull up the schedule of where we are. I don't even think it's at the next meeting that we have anything for the association is what I'm thinking. So next week at the regular town council meeting, the council will consider the commission's recommendation to approve the lot combination for the association. So that'll be at the regular meeting next week. And then the zoning, sorry, I was just gonna take a quick look at where we are. So the rezone, okay. So we won't, well, actually it says the next item for the planning commission is October 21st. That the commission is going to review and determine completeness of the rezone package, and then the 30-day public notice begins. So again, there's not going to be a whole lot going on there just yet. Okay, so no other agenda items to talk about. I probably should have put that on there just for an update, but that's okay. All right, moving on. Public comment is agenda item 5. Mr. Bitter. Or Mr. Bitter?
Because I don't know if it's on the agenda, but I'm just kind of representing Ben Sweet because he's out of town for a few weeks, and he's going to be opposed to seeking a lot combination.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to build trails like I have on my lot, just up the road from me. I went up there and found all these corners, and I said, well, your house is right in the middle of your 2 lots, so we should go combine. So all those corners are marked.
Is it an older house?
It's 2000.
Okay, I think we've talked about that
So when it
one.
comes up, yeah, it's a simple little thing.
Has he come in with anything yet?
He came and talked to me a couple times.
Okay, that's what I thought, so,
Yeah.
He's
okay.
had to go out of town for a few weeks.
Gotcha, all
I'm
right.
here, still here, and I didn't know if it was on the agenda or not.
Is that Snow Forest?
Snow Forest lots 20 and 21, and he
Okay.
thought lot 22 was his, which isn't. Didn't know that was lot 22.
20 and 21, you
So
said?
they wanted to
Sorry.
put trails through there.
Is it 20 and 21, you said, the lot? Is there, where, oh, sorry, go ahead.
There are 2 lots of due east and west property lines, and his house is over the middle of it.
So it's like really in the middle of the 2 lots? It's not like we could move a lot line? Okay,
Well, he wouldn't want to because of the terrain.
and then, okay, okay.
Spread the dirt out, so it's pretty steep and the extra piece. But Scott came up and looked at it.
Okay.
Says, yeah, you don't need survey, all the corners are here, you're just erasing the line in the middle.
Middle.
And I've got the GPS coordinates on the map that we've scaled up for him.
Okay,
When it comes in. it's-
we'll wait for when his
he doesn't have
application
much
comes
place to
in.
build trails now, but
Okay. Other Mr. Bitter, any other comments? No?
Nope.
Okay.
the other.
The other, yes. Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that. All right, moving on to agenda item 6, discussion items. So the first one up is the second reading of ordinance 2025-07, Title 15 Land Usage, Chapter 154 Zoning. And this is, the first reading was done at last month's council meeting. It's the one where we're making a few changes to the commercial zone ordinance. And in the first reading, there was an addition to just define a little bit better the conditional use permit application and how that works. And then the other addition, which this commission is aware of, was we added a new not permitted condition at the end, number 45, would be data centers to include cryptocurrency Bitcoin mining operations not permitted. So there's been a suggestion from a council member to also make a change to item 28, which currently is, this is on the permitted, I'm sorry, what's this table called? Permitted and conditional uses in commercial zones. And item 28 is currently dwellings on floor above and below the ground floor, and it's currently not permitted. And the councilman's suggestion was to change it to conditional. And we had quite a vigorous discussion about that at the last work session, town council work session, with some great dissent amongst council members about making that change. So I wanted to get the commission's input, and I know we've talked about it a little bit. I've kind of since gone back and looked at the definition of the commercial zone, and then we have our other zones, our, single family, multifamily. We do have a multi-use zone. So in my head, for this commercial property next door, if the owner were to come in with a development proposal in which they wanted to include some dwelling space above, like, I don't know, short-term rental or hotel kind of units, whatever it is. Actually, not hotels. It would have to be more residential, I guess, to qualify under here. I'm kind of thinking he should probably also come in with a rezone application rather than us change a condition in the commercial zone. But I'm open to whatever everyone else thinks. And Jenny, I don't know if you have experience with this. Yeah.
Respond to your email, I
Yeah.
apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so I guess does the town have a future land use map that's officially adopted in the current plan, the current master plan?
Yes.
And does that future land use map include the mixed use district?
It does not. Currently, we only have single-family residential, commercial, and public facilities. We don't have any multifamily or multi-use zones.
On the map?
On the
but
map.
We do have them in the ordinance?
Yes, correct.
Would it,
And we have
Have
recreational,
there-
sorry.
has there been any talk with this update to the master plan of looking at that future land use map and making changes to it?
I think that is going to be something we should have in there, yes. And I think that one chapter, I think it's chapter 3, which I haven't finished working on the draft yet, but it would go in there, I believe. So, I mean, that's just my thought is in trying to think about what would happen out here. And again, the developer has not come in with anything. He did come in with some notional sketches months and months ago, but we haven't heard anything since. To facilitate development out there, if that's what the town wants, if that's what the community wants. And we've got some questions out on the survey about it. I haven't really looked at where we're at with the results.
Does the mixed use district allow all of the same uses as the commercial district? And then just additionally housing?
It does, and let me go to that real quick in here, because I want to say that there's not a lot of definition in the multi-use zone. It just refers to all the requirements are essentially the same as the commercial zone.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me find it real quick just for good measure to read the language. Land usage, zoning. Because I was hoping there might be some more guidance in there. But there's not really. Oh, here we go. So it's actually called, it's 154.220, 154.220, Planned Development Zone, Residential and Mixed Use. And it says, yes, Planned Development Zone, Residential and Mixed Use shall have ready access to an existing commercial zone. That's not what I was looking for. There's something in here about what you can, allowed uses. Here we go. Let's see. Single and multi-story buildings are allowed but shall relate in scale and design to surrounding buildings. As a general rule, the development shall reflect continuity by echoing architectural styles, details, design themes, building materials, and colors used in surrounding buildings. I guess that's really not what I want either. That represent the rural character of Western towns. Requirements, dimensional and bulk standards. Oh, here we go. It says dimensional and bulk standards for planned development mixed use, the bulk standards for commercial community facility shall apply, and then it refers you to the commercial zone.
Okay.
Mm.
So is there any other place in the town where commercial is allowed besides these lots out front?
Not currently, not within the current municipal boundary. So that now, if it refers you back to that, and the conditional uses are in that table, then maybe that is something that would need to change. Because if you just rezoned it to mixed use,
When the mixed-use zoning district was created, what happened with the zoning map?
well, I
Were there any
think.
changes to it?
No, I don't know if Commissioner Albers or Dalton or even Commissioner Sommerfeld, if you have any insight for like past or earlier when the town was developed or first came into being, but my sense is that they included these zones with the thought that in the future, if there were annexations or other things, we should be able to address different zones than what the town currently has.
I think that's true.
Yeah, so, and the only commercial is here, and everything else, you know, like 99% or maybe 96% is single-family residential, and then a good bit of recreational with the golf courses and things, and then the public works
So
facilities.
in the master plan update, when you look at the future land use map, you could consider changing that commercial zone to mixed use, which would, as the zoning ordinance stands today without the proposed amendment, allow
Mm-hmm,
residential in that area.
mm-hmm,
And then you would just, if this developer came in and they wanted to do that, they would request the rezone, and then that rezone would align with the future land use map,
mm-hmm,
if you wanted to go that route. But, given that there's no other commercial areas in the
Yeah.
town, I guess it just depends on if you wanna, just because you change the future land use map doesn't mean you're changing the zoning.
exactly, correct.
So it doesn't mean anything is gonna happen.
It's just
Someone has
showing-
to come and propose it.
Right, it's
So
just,
it would just
like-
show, we would have more options.
right.
And then you wouldn't have to change the rules of the commercial district.
Right. When the 2014 master plan and that zoning map was done, it showed Commissioner Sommerfeld's subdivision as planned residential because the annexation hadn't been completed yet, but it was still put on the map. And we actually just updated the map finally to show it being part of the town. Okay, so we can, for the master plan, I think that makes a lot of sense, so we can certainly do that. As far as for this ordinance though, given how now that I'm rereading it, the mixed use refers back to the commercial zone.
It's all kind of.
I mean, and I guess we don't really have to do it in this reading, we could do it in a future reading of this ordinance too. And we can't do it in the second reading because we're too late to make any further changes at this point. We did not include the councilman's recommendation to change number 28 from not permitted to conditional. I personally, I didn't see the harm in going from not permitted to conditional because that still means you have to come through the conditional use process. So it's not a slam dunk, right?
What is 28?
It's the one about dwelling space, yeah, which is currently not permitted in the commercial zone. Yeah, so, okay, I think I've talked myself around in a circle now.
It's kind of circular.
So with it not permitted right now, that opens the door to request a conditional use?
No, it would have to be a C, conditional, like that table would have to change from not permitted to conditional to facilitate that process. But yeah, so now I'm kind of back in the camp of it. I think we may want to go ahead and do that. And I still feel like the town is protected with the conditional use process so that it's still another approval process that would have to happen before you would allow that particular use.
Does the mixed use district or zone have additional requirements that are more, like you read a few, I think,
Yes, yeah.
So that would be something to consider, that those are not in the commercial, that would maybe give the town a little bit more control over how any future structures,
Mhm.
like their appearance or their design. Are there any rules like that in the commercial district?
Citing, it's pretty short, really. Other standards refers you back. So it does say, so this is still in the mixed-use zone. It says, in the case where the development application is accompanied by a request for rezone, the permitted uses in the proposed development shall be the same as those allowed under the new zoning designation if the request for rezoning is approved. Conditional uses within the applicable underlying zoning district may be authorized through the development approval process. That wasn't entirely helpful, but it still makes me think, going to the next section where it has the dimensional and bulk standards, and it says mixed use, the bulk standards for commercial shall apply.
What about the sentence you read earlier that said, like,
Single.
similar to adjacent buildings?
Yes.
Structured western towns,
Mhm.
that's under the mixed use, not under the commercial.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the mixed use theoretically, even though those are very broad statements, has a little bit more intent on.
Sort of architectural aesthetics and, yeah,
Yeah.
because it says, the development shall reflect continuity by echoing architectural styles, details, design themes, building materials, and colors used in surrounding buildings where such buildings represent the rural character of western towns. So kind of means you can't just put a warehouse there.
Can I ask you a question? Maybe I'm off base here. The commercial is supposed to be something that benefits the town. Haven't we discussed it, or am I in the wrong place?
Let's see.
Because didn't we have discussions
Yes.
about how if you're gonna do commercial, that it has to benefit the town?
Right, the very first part under the commercial zone, the purpose says, the purpose of this zone is to primarily provide uses that meet the retail and service needs of the town in a traditional community center and its vicinity with 1- and 2-story buildings, and may contain other compatible uses such as civic and institutional uses of community importance. So,
Okay, so then my question would be then, what purpose, if you put a room up there, or somebody wants to live there, how is that benefiting the town? Am I in the right place?
no, I see what you're saying. So, I mean, there's two things. One is it's more of a tax base, right? So we've got another ratepayer,
Okay,
right?
all right, so
And
there is-
property
there is a
taxes.
benefit. Okay, all right.
Somewhat.
Okay.
It's an equal benefit, though, to the developer to potentially facilitate him moving forward with the project. As like if he's a landlord and he's gonna make some condos upstairs, he's gonna get the monthly rental income. The town will get, water rates, property tax. Well, I guess we'll get the property tax from the building owner, not from the person hooked up to the water. So probably small benefit for the town, probably more benefit and perhaps I will pick Mr. Rand Bitter's brain on that, being on the Finance Advisory Board.
What the benefits would be? I don't know how if we might get a little more sales tax based on population. Are you thinking like a shopkeeper's apartment above the?
Possibly, sure, yeah. I don't know.
That might make it easier to staff.
So it'd probably be, again, some small benefit to the town, but,
Yeah, property tax, any structure will give you property tax.
right.
Just a question.
Yeah, no, a good point, so, okay. So does the commission feel like for the third reading, it would be appropriate to make the change in changing not permitted in commercial for dwelling to conditional? Just as and I guess the reason it even came up within the council was, a little bit of a carrot to show the people that own that property, we could be open to considering other things in commercial, like maybe some residential upstairs. It's, the way it's written out says, or underground, but I don't see how that would work here, so.
Yeah, I didn't like the underground
Yeah.
part. But otherwise, yeah, it's okay to do it.
Okay. Does anyone feel strongly that it would not be a good idea? And I'll, again, I feel a little comforted by the fact that we have a conditional use process, so that's not a rubber stamp that we're gonna allow whatever would be proposed.
Can I ask one question?
Absolutely.
So if the zoning is changed, do the adjacent neighbors have to approve?
We would go through a whole rezoning application process with public comment and notification of neighbors within 300 feet and all
I just
that.
went through this in Arizona last year.
Right.
Against our subdivision, we had to fight the thing. They wanted to rezone, but unless you, and I like people being able to do what they want with their land, but everybody that's adjacent to it ought to be able to approve, so I don't think you automatically have the right to rezone. unless
Oh,
they-
no, I mean, and certainly then with that process, it'll come before this board to ultimately make a recommendation to the town council who would then
as long as you
approve
put
it,
that-
right?
that,
I-
Condition of
So, in thinking about this, since it's already zoned commercial, I feel like it might be less of a, I don't know. To me, going from rural to commercial or rural to multi-use is more problematic here locally, just from what I've seen happening within the county, when neighbors get very opposed to someone trying to rezone from rural to something else. I mean, Mountain Estates is a good example of that, right? We ended up with storage units right there behind the people on Sugarloaf because it went from rural to mixed use, whereas this is already zoned commercial. And the biggest thing we need to make sure of as a commission is that whatever development, if any, comes, is keeping within the character of what the town wants and doesn't impact, neighborhood here, which already is next to a commercial zone, but, so I was just, thinking out loud about it, because I'm sure that there could potentially be people that wouldn't want to see it go to multi-use, but I don't know. So, we're not there yet, it's just a thought. Okay, well, if this commission is not opposed to changing that to conditional, then for the third reading, we might end up doing that. And I say we might because I'm not sure where all of the council is yet. I know there was two very distinct sides last time we talked about it, so we'll see where we are this time. Okay, any other discussion on that, on ordinance 2025-07? Okay, thank you. Very good. All right, next discussion item is the master plan community survey. Just a quick update. Jamie and I didn't print out any more examples of responses, but when I looked this morning, I think there were 185 responses. So we're inching towards 200, which, just gauging our email list, which has about 800 people on it. I know we're getting responses from outside of the email now because we have signs posted and we're getting ready to do a Facebook social media thing. But I think that's pretty good. I know Commissioner Stewart has a lot of experience with surveys and actually was helping us today with the whole ad on Facebook so that we can fence it in to just be within Star Valley Ranch and we're not getting, people from Alpine
So
doing
you
our
want,
survey.
like, both adults in a household, or you just want one response per household?
Oh, no, I
Say
think,
we have 2,000 people.
I think every individual in the household, if they should do it, yeah. So if spouses haven't, encourage them to, or significant others. Okay, so we'll keep you updated on that. The survey, we're still planning for it to close at the end of the month, so there's still time. All right, next item is dark skies implementation and ordinance, current ordinance 154-074. And there was some emails on that while I was out last week, and I appreciate everyone looking at that. I don't know, I'm gonna go back to, I think Commissioner Naumoff had a lot of good comments on that one. I think what I got from the email discussion was that, at least from Commissioner Naumoff and Commissioner Sommerfeld, that are very pro dark skies. I think most of the people that live in Star Valley Ranch are we like night sky without light in it other than stars. So the town still has some work to do on enforcement. I think our current ordinance is pretty good. While it doesn't say dark skies, what's in there is pretty aligned with what is written as far as dark skies criteria. So, there's always room for improvement, so.
I've gone to the neighbors that actually have a light bulb, and basically asked them, can you just.
Direct it down.
Direct it down, and could you put a timer on it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it does shine straight in our home,
Ah.
and they're complying, so.
Oh,
I'm
that's nice.
Super excited about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
'Cause I think,
Oh, we didn't know, we're so sorry, you know.
I mean, it's good for you for talking to them about it, because sometimes people just don't know.
Yeah.
And then there are others that just aren't very concerned about it and don't want to.
I can speak briefly to that. We have a house about 300 yards from us. We live up above the fourth tee, and they live down behind the fourth green. And they have a spotlight on their house that breaks all of our rules. And I spoke to Jim about it. This has been 4 or 5 years ago or longer. And he went and spoke to him about it. And he had a light meter that he was trying to follow his understanding of our light code. And he couldn't find that they were too bright, but their light isn't direct. You know, so it's like if I want to look at the, you know, a meteor or something going by out there, to the south, it's useless. He asked them if they would consider, they wouldn't get rid of it. He asked them if they would consider hooding it, and they refused, and gave him a pretty nasty send-off, to say the least. So, we haven't pushed that anymore because Jim appears to be in a position where he can't do anything about it.
Can I ask how long ago this came up?
Oh, I think 4 or 5 years at least.
Okay, so I think
That, the code we have right now was the code.
was
then.
the code then,
Yeah.
yes.
I was very familiar with that
Right.
code, yeah.
So from the discussion, at least, I think, like I said, enforcement is something the town is working on. I think now, I'm not saying that Jim didn't do everything he could then, but our building official now is the one that does citations for anything that's within the building code.
You know.
So maybe another conversation might be helpful.
Yeah, I see an awful lot of people in town who pay no attention to this
Oh,
ordinance.
absolutely, yep. So we could probably do some more education about it too. I
Last
think.
time I went to the hospital at 3 in the morning to get sewed up, that's a long story. I couldn't believe how bright it was driving through
Yeah,
town, you
yeah.
know, so. And we lived in Flagstaff for 10 years, which is a dark sky city, and it's delightful. It was built that way to protect Lowell Observatory.
Right,
Now, if we move forward with something called dark sky, or if we move forward deciding to enforce our existing rules, we're gonna run into a lot of people who don't wanna do things. And if we don't get everybody to do it, we got nothing.
Yeah.
For example, if I sold a lot to you, sir, to build a house next to me, and you came in under these dark sky rules, and my house looked like Dodger Stadium, what do you got? You know, so this is gonna have to be an all or nothing thing.
Well, my thoughts are, just from the community that I deal with all the time, a lot of people have a perception of safety, so that's why they have
Yes.
the lights. It doesn't bother me to have all dark, but some.
You're right,
There's a lot
that's-
of single women
yeah.
and widows up
So
in my
it's-
neighborhood, right up with
I think we
repairs
can,
and things, and
yeah.
they like to feel like they're a little
Right.
safe. And then, is this retroactive, some sort of enhancement retroactive, or are you just trying to talk about the existing?
Commissioner Sommerfeld and I were talking before the meeting, and I don't see how the town could make something retroactive like that. We have homes here from the 60s and 70s, right? So,
People that are in their 80s trying to get.
but I do feel like we could probably do a better job of at least providing information and education and, you know, talking to homeowners when we do find there's a house that's, you know, really lighting up the night sky.
And builders, I mean, the builders.
And builders,
they really
sure.
should know.
Yep, and I think
most of them do, but there's.
And
some new
Scott's
ones that don't.
done a really great job, you know, working with the builders and he knows them all and stuff, so, but we'll keep working on
You
it.
know, the challenge for roads and water is
Right.
safety as well. So
Yes,
if you're trying
yeah.
to sell it,
So
you
it's-
get
you're
the
right,
lights
there's-
off and they feel less safe, they're gonna say that's against you.
Right,
If a
So you gotta
light,
have some
if a
lights.
light is hooded to shine straight down, does that reduce their safety?
I don't know.
yeah, it's, people have different comfort levels with safety, I think, sometimes too, so.
Yeah, I mean, I can see through the trees, especially this time of year, houses.
Yeah, as soon as the leaves start going. Okay, well, we'll keep working on it.
I could put a shield on for them.
Are there rules about, just trying to think, like not retroactively, because I don't think that would work at all,
Mhm.
but the short-term rentals, do they have to get new licenses every year?
Yes,
So you could do a check then, at least for those,
for those, sure.
and then everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, you
And I'm
know,
just speaking from my experience,
Yeah.
because the short-term rental behind my house
Yes,
is very bright.
is it very bright?
Yeah.
well, you know, when you have that 300, what is it, yards, right? The Airbnbs
Yes.
basically have to.
To notify,
communicate.
yeah. Mhm.
Well, I texted the gentleman and he put it in his rules.
Oh,
So
So that's
that their
good.
guests basically turn off at night.
What's the rule about notification?
What's that?
What's the rule about
oh,
notification?
if someone, gets a short-term rental permit, they have to notify their neighbors within 300 feet, yeah.
So he gave me his text and everything, so we're good.
But
okay.
yes, that would be.
That's another one.
I was
Okay.
gonna text.
There's one Airbnb on South Forest and West Forest right there by Bonnie. Right there. Sometimes they have 8 lights behind you. They have
Yeah,
8 lights all lit up there
Mhm.
like the roadway.
we can, I know we could certainly do something with that when we start going through with the new permits for next year. I mean, we just updated the application to include a new item, but that's, I feel like there's, maybe we can make some additional information part of that process to help. Okay, moving on, so I added this in, and I'm gonna keep it on the agenda, just other matters from the commission, just because there's always something that comes up that maybe wasn't on the agenda. So I'm just gonna go around to each of you if there's any other topics that you wanted to bring up or something we haven't covered. So Commissioner Nelmoff, I'll start with you. Anything else for the commission? If you don't have anything, that's fine.
I don't, but I want to say thank you for
Mhm.
the 2 yards, is it 2 yards of gravel that they poured in our court and they rolled it.
Oh, good,
I'm
yay!
so glad, I'm like, oh, this is so fantastic.
So there is on that front, just for everyone's information, so as the water improvement project winds down in town, which they are done with all the work, and now we have, the town has a punch list with Avail to go through, you know, to fix, tidy up, and finish off things, just like you have a punch list when you know, have work done at your house. So they are doing that, and if you or any of your neighbors have something and you think that they should be coming by and doing, and they haven't, please call town hall, let them know, because we tried to put everything in there that we knew of and that we saw as the public works director and administrator went around and, you know, as things have been inspected to catch everything. But there may be, you know, some things we've missed, and if not, the town will take care of it, but I know they're working on putting gravel and doing things like that now.
It was
I want to make a
outstanding.
note, everyone out in the Willow Snow Forest, the road base has all been scraped off the last 2 winters, and then with the fiber optic.
And I would say Silver
plans,
Stars,
it's still-
just-
there's no
yeah.
gravel anymore.
It's not good, so we're gonna have a lot of work to do.
We know we'll never get chip sealed, but the road base would be nice.
We'll work on that too, so, okay, thank you. Commissioner Albers, anything? Nope. Commissioner Stewart? Nope. Commissioner Dalton? Nope. Commissioner Sommerfeld, anything else?
No, I don't.
I have one thing, so next week on Thursday, there's gonna be a,
Calendar.
public meeting, I forget what we're calling it now.
Master plan.
Or,
I have it written down. as
a work session, right? We're calling it
leadership.
Master Plan Update Work Session. And the specific purpose, and we'll be putting out a notice, the town will. So it's Thursday, the 16th at 1 o'clock, and it'll be here upstairs. That's the right date? Yes. And it'll be the town council, members of the town staff, town engineer, and also all the board chairmen. And if the board chairmen are not available, then a representative from the board representing that board. So as the chairman of the planning commission, I am in the council bucket for this meeting. So I would like to ask if any of the commissioners, if someone would like to volunteer to represent the planning commission at that meeting, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna take draft community development objectives for the new master plan that have already been drafted, they're draft. We're gonna look at those and then try and prioritize them, and maybe eliminate some, and maybe add another one if we've forgotten something. So if any of the commissioners, and it'll probably be at least a 2-hour meeting, so if you're available, I would like to get a volunteer. Anybody?
I was planning on going.
You're planning on going? Would you like to sit in the seat for the planning commission, and you'll have to get up and help rank stuff? Frank Bell is gonna facilitate the meeting, and he's the travel and tourism chair, and
Do you mean I get to write the number?
yes.
I'm coming too, so.
Yeah, and the public is invited to come, but as far as being a voting member, if you're willing, I will put your name down. Thank
And
you.
that's 1 o'clock, right?
1 o'clock, yes.
Is there a facilitator at that session?
Frank is gonna facilitate that portion.
You
He's,
get a prioritization tool like that pairwise analysis that brings everything?
I don't know, it's not as sophisticated as that. I've been in meetings with Frank when he's
How many options?
done a prioritization before. So he's a little more old school with it, but it works really well. And so I'm gonna kind of start the meeting out just to give an update about the master plan and where we are and what we're doing. And then Frank will take over to facilitate the, meat and potatoes part where we get into the objectives and prioritize them, so. Okay, very good, thank you very much. Let me make a note to be at October meeting. Okay. All right, any save grounds from anyone on this? Okay. We don't have any items to be turned over to town council. That's agenda item 7. Action items for the next meeting. I don't think we have any. Okay. And with that, could I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Sommerfeld. Could I get a second?
Second that?
Seconded by Commissioner Naumoff. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 6:08. Thank you very much.